I think living slow is probably one of the best things anyone can do for themselves. This life thing is crazy enough as is. And I think the pace at which everyone lives is a little intense. I kind of came to the realization at a certain point that, I'm not a robot. There's days where I'm tired. There's days where, I'm not at my best. You gotta take things slow sometimes. It's easy to look out at the world and see how everything's so perfectly automated and, everyone gets to work on time but reality is, people mess up. This isn't really the world we were meant to live in. Technology is just kind of advanced at a exponential rate, and that's not really how evolution works. I think there's something to living a bit slow, I think the people who spend more time bored and maybe not accomplishing as many things end up feeling like they lived longer. Even if we look back at the hunter-gatherers, right? Sure, they'd, be on the hunt for a couple hours during the day, but all the way out there, they're usually with a couple of their tribesmates and, they're socializing, and there's a lot of just absolute silence as well. A lot of downtime, especially during the hunt and on the walk back. I really love using the campfire as a kind of representation for what humans are really designed for. The times when we were all around the campfires, with our families and maybe had large celebrations with other traveling tribes, that's still biologically, I think, where most humans are at today. I think a good way to kind of just get the feeling for this slower pace of life is to just start doing little 10-minute meditations. You don't have to really even do them every day, but even just 10 minutes of having your eyes closed, just focusing on your breath. And I think there's a bunch of health benefits that have been scientifically, looked into about monks who meditated a lot. But I think even besides that long-term stuff, even just in the moment you finish the meditation, that feeling of being present is just so worth it. And there's no shame in living a bit slower. In Taoist philosophy, it's commonly the guy who seems to be doing nothing all day who's the most wise and most friendly. Sometimes it's just a bunch of traveling monks who have nothing to their name but have each other. There was, one story. I think it's the Laughing Monks, and these three guys, they just go from town to town. They sit around in the town square, just totally bumming out, and they just laugh together. They make jokes and they have fun. And their laugh is so infectious that it eventually infects the whole town. Once they got a chuckle out of everyone, I guess, they kind of move on to the next town. It's so strange because in the modern world, we look at those three, monks as pretty much failures. They do nothing with their day and they just kind of sit around laughing with each other. But the impact they had on the people around them was, well worth it to them. And that was kind of the lesson they were teaching everyone. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.